Here's something else that no one tells you about spiritual awakening. No one tells you that you are going to have to learn how to lose. You are going to have to become a loss specialist. Because before your awakening is about how much you gain, it's first going to be about how much you lose. You are going to lose romantic relationships, friendships, family. You're going to lose jobs. You're going to lose interest in the programming, in the conditioning that you believe. You're going to lose the belief in religions. You're going to lose the belief in the systems that were set up in this world. You're going to lose interest in the jobs that you have. You're going to lose your identity. You are going to lose your mind. Because although in this world we are taught to win, winning is everything. And how do you win? You achieve, and you get to the top that way. In the spiritual awakening, it's completely opposite. You get to the top by losing. And think about that statement. It doesn't even make sense. You get to the top by losing, by going to the bottom, losing connection to everything that this world has taught you that is important. And once you get to the bottom, you are naturally going to be in a tremendous amount of pain because of that loss, because loss hurts. Let's just get that out of the way. And then you're going to kick and scream and fight and try to climb your way back up. But you won't be able to make it up because you're going to continue to lose. And you're going to try to resist that. But when you actually surrender and you just allow yourself to fall to the bottom, that is when the process changes. Because when you sit at the bottom and you surrender to this process, down at the bottom is where you are going to gain everything you need to get to the top. Because in the spiritual awakening, you don't get to the top by your actions. You get to the top by your surrender. You get to the top by letting go. You get to the top by learning how to lose. So when you are at the bottom and you sit in that bottom and you surrender, that is when your true awakening takes place. Because at the bottom is where you're going to pick up everything you need to go to the top. At the bottom is where you're going to meet yourself. You're going to meet the divine, God, the universe, your higher self. You're going to meet source at the bottom. And guess what happens after that? That's when your ascension starts. You're going to ascend to higher levels of consciousness. That's when you realize you have direct connection to source, God, universe, and you realize that you are an extension of source. And then at that point, you will be so detached from all of the things that you lost that it won't even matter. Because what you have gained is so much more important and so much more powerful than anything you lost. And so the pain that you felt from loss now has been transmuted into the peace that you feel from ascending, from rising in consciousness. And so that peace leads to gratitude, that gratitude leads to love, that love leads to empathy, that empathy leads to understanding, and so on and so forth. You move to a different space in your journey because at this point you've been able to conquer loss in order to gain your ascension. So for those of you that have gotten through this part of the journey, congratulations, pat yourselves on the back. For those of you that are going through this journey, keep going, stay encouraged, stay in the process. It's going to be okay.